Hello everybody, this is Minotaur for Aslan again, and I'm just gonna take a little break in this episode from talking about Voyage of the Dawn Treader to talking about Prince Caspian, because the DVD has come out in several parts of the world and the bonus features are starting to leak onto YouTube, and we get to watch them. Yes, I know I'm an evil pirate slash vandal slash barbarian for looking at them on YouTube before the DVD comes out, but I'm going to be buying the DVD. I think that justifies it. Okay? Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Alright, so first off, I get a look at the Prince Caspian bloopers. I thought a lot of these were very funny. Though for me there was just a little bit too much of people falling down and not enough flatulence. Is that for reals? I mean, that's the funniest moment of the whole blooper reel. And now I'm going to discuss the Prince Caspian deleted scenes and what I like about them and why I think they cut them. The first deleted scene I'm going to talk about is breaking in at the night raid. This scene shows Trumpkin and Susan coming down, and then Trumpkin falls and Susan catches him by like the shirt or something. I mean, it looks like it's the beard at first glance, but if you look close, it's actually the shirt. The pros of the scene is it sets up when Trumpkin saves Susan from falling that other time, at least temporarily. I mean, it's sort of like a trade-off, I guess. Calling from the scene is it's a little cheesy to just like constantly like, I'm gonna fall, or I'm not. And yeah. So my opinion, interesting little tidbits. Not really much else. Next scene, picking marshals. This was one of the most, this is the longest and most interesting thing, a deleted scene I think there is, maybe aside from the Susan Caspian scene. It's almost exactly from the book. It's extremely faithful to the book. The bears is in the Reba Cheap, and you know, I was impressed. I mean, it's too bad this wasn't in the film, though I can see why it isn't, because it's way too long to just have dialogue. I mean, in a movie you don't want to have a scene where there's just lots of dialogue, because that bores the audience pretty quickly and doesn't fit with the rest of the movie. Next deleted scene I want to talk about is the nursery scene. This is during the night raid when Susan and Peter are going to get Miraz and kidnap him, and they come across Miraz's baby in the cradle. I don't know if some fan or something saw this early in production, because it was rumored for a while that the purpose of the night raid was to kidnap Miraz's baby, and a lot of people were quite concerned about that. And I mean, maybe it could have someone saw this scene and thought, oh, they're kidnapping Miraz's baby. I mean, so this scene seems to be just a simple gag. I mean, Peter's like, where'd that come from? And Susan said, well, I've never had that talk with you. When I was watching this, my friend, whose mom hasn't given him that talk yet, he really didn't get it. And so I think, yeah. Deleted scene of Aslan's How. This is an extremely short deleted sequence. It shows basically all this is Glenn Storm telling that Aslan's How has been abandoned for hundreds of years and only the mice knew of it. It does explain a little bit more of what Aslan's How is. Some people who haven't read the book that I saw this movie with, well, they were a little bit confused. They were like, wait, that's Care Paravel? I'm like, no. They were like, wait, there are two Care Paravels? And yeah, I think this sets it up a little more. Then there's the deleted Dryad sequence. This sequence is very interesting to me. The CGI Dryad actually looks pretty good to me. Some people think it's not completely finished CGI. I wonder what the final color of the petals in the scene was going to be. I'm thinking they were going to be green, which is contrast because all the other Dryads have been pink in the movies. And there's also the question of where does this fit into the movie? I've heard one theory is that the Dryad is trying to tell the Pevensey something, but then a Telmarine cuts down its tree. I thought this was a very interesting thought, but I'm not really sure where they would put this. But it is a cool scene, and I do like it. And now, of course, the most controversial, talked about scene of practically the entire movie that wasn't even in the movie. But we get to see it now. I mean, yes, it's got flirting. I mean, Glumpuddle's probably gonna, like, burn it, if there's any way to do that with a movie. It's a fine scene. The arrows look a little bit fake, but it's a fine scene. I mean, you get to see Tyrus and Mentius talk. That's pretty cool. I'm going to wrap this up with my absolute most favorite deleted scene. I just love this scene. Leaving for the night raid. This scene, I love it. It's so beautiful. Wonderful expression on Lucy's face. She really brings across concern, and Peter's just like, okay, whatever. And beautiful final shot with all the Narnians going out into the sunset. One of the things I also really liked about this scene is getting to see Glenstorm and his wife interact. And Glenstorm's wife says, "You'll look after them," which I think really sets up and makes the moment when they come back a lot more powerful. It's sort of the opposite of the scene. Instead of the sunset, it's dawn, and it's very gloomy. It's dewy, feels wet, and you see Glenstorm coming back, and you see his wife crying, and because Glenstorm has only come back with 2 sons. This would have made that moment just even more powerful. And even though I absolutely love this scene, the reason I think it was cut out is it makes it way too obvious that Night Raid is going to fail. You know something's going to go wrong. And I don't think they wanted that to happen in the movie because it would sort of spoil your first viewing. I think the way they wanted it to be for people who hadn't been spoiled by all the trailers and such is to think that the Night Raid might possibly actually work. So those are my thoughts on the Prince Caspian deleted scenes. It was so interesting to see a lot of the mysteries that still hadn't been quite revealed to now suddenly understand them. I never really understood why they had to do a whole casting for the Bulgy Bear, because other one-line characters like Peepichi and the Pattertwig, they were just voiced by people in the crew, like Sim Evan Jones and Harry Gregson Williams, and all the Bulgy Bear says is "Rosebud" in the movie. But in the deleted scenes, he has quite a lot of lines, so I see why they would cast someone. So it's nice to see sort of how all those little mysteries that weren't quite obvious revealed. So I'm probably way out of time now, so I'm just going to end this. I would like to know, what was your favorite deleted scene? If you could just let me know in the comment section. My favorite scene by far is Leaving for the Raid, but I'd like to know, what was your favorite deleted scene? So, goodbye. This is Minotaur signing out. Minotaur, power!